Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Fortitude Fix. I hope you're well. My name is DaShanna, and in today's video, we are keeping it ever so real, okay? So, I am so excited for this video, and I hope that you are as well. But before we get into the video, I just wanted to share with you that I started this channel and really it kind of grew when I announced my pregnancy the first time, being pregnant with sickle cell. So I do have sickle cell disease type SC hemoglobin, and I gave birth to my daughter in 2020. So she is 16 months old right now, and I am currently pregnant with baby number 2. So it got me thinking a little bit about what's to come and what I remember from the first time I gave birth. So I felt like this video was necessary. I hadn't really talked a whole ton about my postpartum experience. It was literally pandemic, pregnancy, postpartum. It was a lot. So I wanted to get this video out there, share it with you, have a little bit of fun, but also just be extremely transparent and open, because I know a lot of you are currently pregnant or looking to be pregnant here pretty soon. So we gotta talk about postpartum. We can't just glaze over that. It's a really big deal. So let's go ahead and talk about it. And the last thing I will share is that I will be using correct anatomical terms. I will be talking about the real stuff that happens in the hospital and at home postpartum. If you feel that this may not be the video for you, that is okay, and you can go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and meet me in my next one. Let's first off talk about the first P. The first time that you go pee after having a baby. Now, I will share that I did have a vaginal delivery. So here's what happened. Push, push, all the things. Baby came out, and then after they fixed everything up, eventually I would have to get up and use the restroom. So I was given a special nurse who came in, who helped me get out of bed, helped me get into this little like seat, wheelchair situation, moved me and wheeled me over to the restroom that was in my postpartum room, and then helped me transfer to the actual toilet. Now, I will say, it was interesting because I thought like, okay, I'm just gonna go to the restroom, no big deal, thanks for helping me, because of course after you have the baby, I had a epidural, so they just wanted to make sure that everything was okay. So she got me to the toilet, but she stayed there. So she stayed there the whole time. And she had put a little pan to collect the urine. So they measure the urine for your first like time using the restroom once you've given birth. I did not know that. So I was literally urinating into this container that was beautifully placed, honestly, and the nurse just kind of stood there. So it was fine. We had a little chit chat. I mean, at this point, like, everyone has seen everything anyway, and I got a new baby here, right? So we are utilizing the restroom, and time just kind of keeps ticking. Like, we're kind of running out of things to say, but I'm still using the restroom. So, okay. Y'all, there was so much urine. So they measured it. I can't quite remember the exact amount. The nurse was honestly like, whoa, wow, that's really good. That's so good. I don't think I've ever seen that much urine for the first, you know, time using the restroom after the baby. Couple of things. They will help you get to the restroom. They will stay there the whole time. They will likely measure how much urine comes out, and you may have to have a really kind of awkward conversation at that point. All right, another truth that I have to share is that along with that urination, there was a little bit of stinging, sort of. I don't know, that might be something that you experience, but that's real. A lot of folks who are pregnant and giving birth vaginally might fear that. It might hurt or sting a little bit. And to be very honest with you, you can't really use like toilet paper or anything like that around your vulva and urethra. So honestly, that little peri bottle that they have is better than nothing. But I do recommend the peri bottle by, I think it's by Freedom Mom. I'll insert a picture right here. It essentially is one of the best things that you can have during postpartum. And if you get it before you go to the hospital, which I advise that you do, go ahead and bring it with you to the hospital. It's got like an inverted situation, and it's able to get all up where you need it to be. This was one of my items in my postpartum must-have kits video that I made, so make sure you have that. Going to the restroom for the very first time after delivering my baby vaginally, it did burn just for a little bit. I want to say part of it is because I did tear. So I gave birth to my daughter vaginally, like I mentioned, and she was 8 pounds exactly, and I did have, I think, like a 2nd degree laceration. They did have to stitch that up. This was not anything that had to do with the perineum. There was no episiotomy, nothing like that, but I believe I did have like 1 or 2 stitches just to close up that area. And so I believe the first time going to the restroom, some of that urine, which is, you know, acidic, etc., got into the little tear, and it wasn't the most comfortable. Granted, I had just given birth to an 8-pound baby, so in terms of pain, that was very, very low on my radar, and I barely even noticed it, but it's definitely worth mentioning. Let's get into the juice. Let's get into the meat, as a funny choice of words, but let's get into the realness around this first poop situation. So having a bowel movement, going number 2, pooping, whatever you want to call it, it will most likely happen at some point once you have already been released from the hospital. I gave birth during this pandemic and was sent home literally like the next day. So my first poop was at home, and let me tell you, okay, it was not comfortable. First of all, sitting on the toilet seat at home was very uncomfortable. Pain meds are wearing off, all of that kind of thing, and the toilet seat is hollow, right? So all the pressure is literally right in the center, and that's where I just gave birth from, and it was so hard just to even sit down, let alone to make sure I have a successful poop situation like on the toilet. So maybe I'll do a video about the things that I personally had to do at home postpartum in the first couple of days, because it's a lot. It was a lot for me. There was medication, there was elevation of legs, there was injections, there was all of these things that I had to do for my personal situation. So maybe I'll make a separate video, but this first poop was really hard for me, and after that I wasn't able to sit on the toilet at all. And yeah, we're gonna have to get into that other video. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel, because that one's gonna be another level of TMI, but it's going to be my personal experience. So that's just another postpartum truth, is that the first time going number 2 is not going to be comfortable, and it may even result in other means of getting it done, because sitting on that toilet was not comfortable for me, especially because of the stitches. Speaking of the stitches, if you are someone who has stitches for whatever reason after giving birth down in your vulva area, they do itch, and then it's like during the healing process, you can't wipe, you can't really do much. So having particular like perineal sprays, or even those like witch hazel pads, like those things are really, really good for soothing that area, and I suggest you have some on hand just in case you need them. Another thing is that when you are discharged, they are going to give you some instructions, maybe the time and date of your next appointment. Maybe there's some medications or something that you need to take once you get home, something that you need to do. So just make sure that you look at that, you ask your questions before you leave, and you know who to call once you get home should something happen. That was the case for me, and I had to make a phone call, because it was like, if you're experiencing this, and this, please call. So I was, and it ended up being nothing to really be worried about, but I wanted to make sure that, again, I was doing what I needed to do to take care of myself so that I could take care of my little one. So honestly, there's so many other postpartum truths that I would love to share about my personal situation, and I am gonna do that. I am going to make a separate video for that. I might even start a whole new playlist. There's a whole lot of postpartum truths out there, so it's going to differentiate between individuals and their experience, but I'm so excited to hear from you. So go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what is a truth that you came across that you want other folks to know. Okay? All right, I look forward to interacting with you in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're into all things mommyhood, lifestyle, day in the lives, and postpartum truth and postpartum realness. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you right back here in my next one. And as always, remember to fill your cup. Bye.